Good sunny day, everybody. It's me, your friendly intergalactic sun prince of the sun, Enyou Solaris to Moshimas. You can also call me Solaris, or... Did something just flash on my screen, or am I crazy? Or you can also call me Sol for short, because we besties like that, bestie. Or if or if you want to be formal, you could also call me Enyou-sama. But that's just if you want to be super formal. I'm streaming right now. I can't see videos. I'll look at it later. Hold on. I'm curious. It's a video of a beaver? Stop! Stop! Okay, we're focusing. We're focusing. Anyway, we are talking about summer anime. And don't worry about that face in the top. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Does this work? Yes, this does work. Okay. It was acting like it wasn't gonna work. Anyway, so yeah, I talk about anime, but I've not been well known for talking about currently airing anime. And that's usually because I like to just not binge anime. I like to watch it all in one go, you know? Like, I don't watch it all in like one sitting, but I watch like 3 episodes at a time. And like, I like to watch anime, not waiting a week in between watching 21 episode and then having to wait a week. That drives me up a effing wall. But I for the people and also for my own curiosity and also just because I felt like it, I did watch the first episode of 11 different shows that came out this season of the summer 2025 anime season, which runs from July to September. I just assume that everybody knows about anime things, but you know what? Just in case you didn't know, anime runs in seasons. Summer season starts in the beginning of July, ends at the end of September for... That's 12 weeks? 12, 13 weeks for like 1 episode a week. That's why most anime is like 12 episodes, because they run for like 1 season. My throat is already dying. I did sleep like 10 hours and I took a Dayquil. And I'm not sick. It's fine. But yeah. Yeah, so I did do that because I thought it would be fun. And I do like checking out the anime that is airing. So I'm like, you know what? I'll watch 1 episode and then I'll wait. And then so I can have a list of things that I'm interested. So I know, and also I know what's airing, and so I can have a list of things that I might be interested in. So then when it's all done airing, I can come back and know what I want to watch. But I already regret it because there's at least a couple of shows in here where I got to the end of the first episode and I'm like, what? That's it? That's it? What do you mean? What happens next? I'm like, where's the next episode? And they're like, there is no next episode. Whatever. It's fine. I'm fine. I'll live, okay? But yeah. But I did it because I was curious and I could make a video about it that people might be interested in watching. And I don't need to make everything into a song. Especially when I'm potentially sick. But yeah, so we had, okay, from the top. I watched 1 episode of 11 different anime that started airing in the summer 2025 anime season, which runs from July to September. And I am a fan of lists. So because of that, if I can do it. Where you have a tier list. We have a little bit jacked up of a cropping of a tier list, but whatever, we have a tier list. Can you see my mouse cursor? Maybe, I don't know. We have definitely watch for shows that you should definitely watch, should watch, maybe watch, don't watch, and please don't watch. And it's pretty decently spread. There might not be anything in the please don't watch category. Because listen, I believe in my 15 years of watching anime, I have a pretty good idea of what I will and will not like. So, you know, I don't tend to want to watch shows I think I'll hate. So I do not often watch shows that I hate. Isn't that weird? It's weird how that works out, isn't it? So yeah, and for the list, I only watched new shows for the season, so no sequels, because there's like a fudging Biscuit Doll got a new season that I'm definitely interested in, but like for a first, and also Panty and Stocking finally got a new season after like a billion years in a Mario Kart 8 lifespan of length of time. So I want to say it's longer than Mario Kart 8. Wasn't Panty and Stocking like early 2010s? Anyway, but yeah, I'll probably watch those, but I already know that I like those because I watched the first season, so not really a point. And also I only have so much time. I'm a mortal being, unfortunately, so there's only so much time, and I didn't get to now you can see my cursor. What? I'm not even on that window. Whatever. Anyway, I only have so much time, so I didn't get to every show this season. But if I missed any show that you like, let me know. I always want more anime recommendations. People are like, oh, don't recommend anime because I'll never get around to it. No, I will eventually get around to it. My goal is to watch every single anime to ever be made at some point in time. So if you want to prioritize any of those on that list, let me know. Yeah. So yeah, after 15 years of constantly watching and thinking about anime, I think I can get a pretty good read on a show after one episode. So that's why I kind of felt confident to do something like this. But again, it's only one episode, so these opinions are very subject to change, so do not get mad if I say a show is bad and it is good, or if I say a show is good and it is bad. This is just a first impressions, but I will say I have pretty good confidence about things, okay? That's all I'm saying. But it is, at the end of the day, just a first impressions list. And there will also be timestamps. So if you want to jump to a specific show that you want me to hear my thoughts on, then you could do that if you want. Also, I already messed up my fidget toy, which is just two Joy-Con 2 wrist straps tied together, because I took all my fidget toys when I moved. I also got a summer background. Okurumono, that website, where I get most of my free use backgrounds. Anyway, not important right now. We are getting to the first anime. That's not the first anime. That's the first anime. I will show little screenshots. I will just handle this like a regular anime discussion. And if you want the word count for my notes, 2,641, which is long, but hopefully I won't have too much side tip ranting. I don't know. I mostly, when I talk about... There's a button? Is this a button? What is this? There's no button. What the fuck? Okay, I don't know what's going on. Playing around with the Joy-Con 2 wrist straps. Anyway, I like to rant when half of my anime discussions are like mostly talking about the base premise in the first episode. So maybe this wasn't a good idea, but hey, we'll get through it. Don't worry. It'll be a fun time. Don't worry about it. But yeah, anyway, first anime. Did I get the title card anywhere? Just dragons. We got a cold opening. The first anime is Secrets of the Silent Witch. It is a fantasy drama with some comedy, or maybe a lot of comedy, because we got these like big dragons and ruined cities, and then we get to like funny times of a socially awkward witch girl. So yeah, the silent witch in the story is the socially awkward girl, is a young girl who is one of the 7 legendary sages, and and basically I might be a little bit rambly, because again, I'm trying to describe shows that I've not seen like all of, but from what I saw of the first episode, also that black line at the top was annoying me. One of the others, so Silent Witch, that's her. She's one of the 7 legendary sages, and she can do magic. And yes, why she's called the Silent Witch, I'll go a little bit out of order, which is the reason she's called the Silent Witch and how she's one of the 7 legendary sages is because in the academy days, she couldn't cast any magic because she has social anxiety, which is why she's called the Silent Witch. So, what she did is, instead of overcoming her social anxiety, she created a whole new way of casting magic that does not involve any speaking. And I like these two juxtaposed to each other. The show's visual comedy is very good. So yeah, she has a lot of social anxiety, and instead of overcoming that, she decided, like, hey, I'm gonna find out how to use magic without saying words. Wow, anime! Dude, somebody's here, how's it going? What's up? Hi, Toast. Talking about Silent Witch. Again, it's more the witch with social anxiety. Hello. Hope you're doing good. I am doing a little bit better than I did yesterday, so that's always good. I hope you are doing well. Anyway, Silent Witch. It's a fantasy drama with some comedy. Silent Witch is a young girl, one of the legendary sages. She just has social anxiety, and the reason that she's a legendary sage is because she invented a new type of magic that can be casted without needing to speak. Which I approve of, instead of just overcoming, like, the disability. They just found a way to live with it instead of getting fixed, quote unquote. So I already like this off the bait. But yeah, the first episode is one of the other sages, which is this guy, which, like, listen, I'm not saying would, but I was slightly disappointed to learn that he had a wife. That's all I'm saying. That's all I have to say. I like the cheeky attitude in the Fang. Anyway, oh man. I know, it's crazy. Is my chat now my chat that I see is more caught up than the on-screen chat, which is usually the other way around. Anyway, so one of the other stages comes over to her hidden mountain cabin and says, hey, I need you to help protect a prince for me because there's politics happening. And she reluctantly agrees. This scene here, her reluctantly agreeing. Look at that. I'm just saying. I hope this guy shows up more often, because he kind of stole the show for the first episode. Although the Silent Witch that is also pretty great, because she's just a very relatable character. Like she's like, okay, and then several things pass by, and she had several hours pass by. Everybody left, and she's still in the same position. The show's visual comedy is very fun. That's mostly what made me want to check it out. Just because a lot of, like, famous directors worked on it, and, yeah. I'm going out of order in my notes. First episode is establishing the base premise, but if I had to guess based off the tone of the first episode and the opening, it will be about meeting various characters, learning about their lives, and how it all connects to the bigger political drama happening. Because it is mostly like, yeah, look, she's riding on a, instead of a broomstick, she's riding on a box. It's funny. Also, can we, look, I don't understand anime anymore. This guy had a regular fang, right? White fang. But then later in the episode, a different character has skin fang. We don't like skin fang. Get out of here. We like regular fangs. We want, I don't get it. But yeah, this princess, she is friends because, yeah, in the prologue, the Silent Witch helped save her life from a dragon. Boosh! Dead. So yeah, she's like a super powerful witch. So I don't think this is gonna be like a battle show because the main character's so overpowered that like I don't think focusing on battles would be a huge thing. I think it's mostly going to be like character development of helping her get out of her shell and some way yeah, a lot of the politics happening in the background of like why she has to protect this prince and the other countries at work. Such a way to meet, I know, right? You're fine. You saved me and my entire kingdom from this horde of dragons. So I really respect you. So yeah, the directing of the first episode is very good. Lots of visual gags, as I said. Like this, I like the bit of the that you'd use the same scene but in different lighting to say that she's been there stun locked the entire time. That's really funny. And yeah, lots of visual gags. The characters are very emotive. I'm assuming like, okay, it's the first episode and usually the first episode has a lot like better animation than the rest of the show, but if they can even keep up half of this, I would be happy because the characters are very expressive and very emotive. And I think that's also thanks to the director. The director of this also worked on Princess Connect Redive, which is another one of my favorite shows, and for a similar reason of the characters being very emotive and the visual gags being very funny. So you can definitely tell that it was the same director with the emotive characters and the funny animation. I just keep repeating the same word over and over again. I will say something weird about this show is that it starts with like a cold open and then jump cuts to something else. And I'm like, I like cold opens. Who can blame you? I like repeating words. Don't worry about it. But yeah, who doesn't like good quality? Exactly. I can't think of words anymore. Oh yeah, I do like cold openings, but I don't like cold openings that are just like a cut forward to like at the end of the show, and then they're like, well, you're probably wondering how I got here. But like the show kind of does that, but it is explained that this does actually take place at the beginning of the show and that this is later. Because they talk about like, oh, you saved the whole village from the dragon. You must be super amazing. So it's kind of it's half of a good cold opening and half not. So it's a cold opening, but it's not a jump forward. So I like it. That's all I wanted to say about that. Also, I approve of how the opening for the first episode is at the end of the first episode. Because I think we talked about that before in a previous stream. Of I don't like anime openings that are at the beginning of the first episode because it kind of spoils the first episode. I like just kind of getting into it and then we see the opening. But yeah, and this is what I was saying about like, yeah, here are a bunch of characters we haven't met before, but they all look good. They all have very good designs. And so yeah, the show will probably be about her learning to open up and meet these different characters and see their story. So you know what? And also it doesn't have episode like a full-on spoiler-filled episode preview. It just tells you the name of the next episode. So I approve of that. So, because of which, get it? Witch, because silent witch. Anyway, I will put this in... I'm not deciding off the top of my head. I did pre-make this, but I will put this into should watch. Did that screw up everything I have? A little bit. Nope, not like that. Nope, not like that either. What did I do? I broke it! Okay. It is going in should watch, is what I think I'm comfortable putting it in. I'm worried that the plot, that it might be, like, fall into a trap of, like, oh, the plot, it's focused on a lot, and the plot is not that interesting. But, you know, if it focuses on, like, the fun directing and the fun characters, like, okay, even if the plot is bad, I feel like the fun characters and the fun directing should make it a good watch, so that's why I'm putting it in should watch. See, that was only like 20 minutes for one anime. So this won't take 15 hours, it'll only take 11. I know, I need to stop whining about how long things will take. Because I don't think people mind really long, rambly anime discussions. I definitely don't. I just am worried that other people will. But you know what? Whatever. Although, specifically today, I'm worried about me running out of steam before the... I'm worried of not being able to finish the stream before the Dayquil wears off. Hydration! Hell yeah! Also, I'm turning back on my air conditioner. Okay. Because it definitely affects my mic quality, but it doesn't give you, like, a background noise. It's hot, and muggy, and I hate it. Why is Earth like this? It's not as bad as Japan. Because let me tell you, you think anywhere is as hot and humid as Japan, or just in Southeast Asia in general, from what I've heard? Yeah, no, it's bad out there. It's just a desert island, a deserted island. Okay, Japan is not a deserted island. Japan is a tropical island that has very extreme weather. You should visit Japan. I've visited Japan, like, a lot, depending on what you count. I've only visited it for vacation once, but I did live there for 3 years, and I did a lot of vacationing when I lived there, but whatever. I've never gone to Japan, but I've watched anime, and that's like pretty good. Have you played Akiba's Trip? Because that's a pretty like one-to-one recreation of Akihabara. Watch it, but yeah, if you watch anime, you're fine. I could get some more ibuprofen if the Dayquil wears off. No more side-carded shit. Nani? Oh, no more side distractions? Exactly. It'll be like my reading streams where I will talk to chat in between chapters. How did you accidentally curse at me in German when you were trying to spell distraction? Okay, we're moving on. Okay, so you know how that last episode was very... Don't worry about it, Toaster Good. You know how that... Oh, not episode. You know how that first anime was like a very, like, regular, like, yeah, it's like a comfy little, you know, fantasy show with fun characters and, like, a comprehensible plot, you know? So, this is not that at all. This is Onmyo Kaiten Rebirth Reverse. And I'll be honest with you. I watched this just because I thought the main girl was cute, okay? I didn't think the show would actually be good. I just saw the main girl and was like, you know what? That's a good design. I like it. That's cute. I'll give it a try. Why not? But I wasn't expecting it to be actually like good and unique. And this is the part where I would say what kind of show it is, what genre of show it is, and I'm not sure. It's like an isekai battle shonen transforming hero ReZero ass kind of show. Like, I got nothing. It's weird. It's the last one was a light novel adaptation. This is a anime original. So I have no frame of reference of what the fudge this thing actually is. Okay, so this guy, I'll try to explain the plot. The guy, and it has some fan service in it. Interesting. So I'll try to explain the plot of the first episode the best I could. Okay, so this main guy sees a girl in a dream, but it's just a dream. That doesn't, magic isn't real. And then he gets launched into a forest. He gets isekai'd, and it's like, oh hey, there's the girl again. But it's not like a regular isekai. He gets isekai'd into this like weird ass like future old-timey place. Like, it's like they talk about it like it's the old-timey Kyoto, but it's like has all this like future stuff in it, and like there's a weird magic future watch in it. And also the show has like weird interesting directing. I like little cutaway gags like that. But yeah, when you think of isekai, you think like, oh yeah, you know, the isekai town, the circular town surrounded by forest, you know, the isekai town, you know, the isekai town. This is not where people usually get isekai do. So the guy finds out he's been isekai'd and that everything seems fine until shadow monsters break the skybox and threaten to kill everything and send everybody to this evil version of the overworld, I guess. And so the world is being attacked by shadow monsters, and these people in like mecha suits called Onmyoji have to fight them. By the way, I also like the design of this. This show has good character design, okay? So we have isekai, we have evil dark monsters, we have these like mecha suits. Like, what? And so he's like, hey, by the way, I've met you in a dream a bunch, but this is the first time we're meeting for real, I guess. And originally she's kind of put off by that, but she's like, okay, whatever, I guess you know me from somewhere else. That's a little weird. Totally not foreshadowing anything at all. Look at the designs of these characters. This guy is great. This girl with the green hair is great, and she has the proper fang. No skin fang. I already told you my opinions on skin fangs. I'm just trying to keep track of what I have and have not said. So yeah, in one of the fights against the shadow monsters, the main guy gets beat up and basically murdered trying to save the girl. But then he gets up and he gets transformed into like this super, like, it's like a transforming hero kind of show, Power Ranger ass looking ass. And he beats the shadow monster and this big flash of light and this big cool action animation, but uh-oh, it looks like he didn't actually beat it, and then the monster shows up and kills him for real and also kills the girl for real. And uh-oh, that's not good. What the fudge is gonna happen now? Oh, time travel, don't worry about it. Then he just time travels back to when he first got isekai'd. Huh? So that's what I meant by the fact when I said that this show is like an isekai battle shonen transforming ReZero kind of show. If that's what you're looking for, there you go. But yeah, the show is insane, and it has a very like high tension energy, because all of that happens in like the first episode, and the show is just as confused about as you are that any of this is happening, because these things just kind of show up, and I'm assume that they'll get explained later, but they're like, yeah, shadow monsters attack, yeah, we got these like robot mech suits that we use to fight them, oh yeah, the main character can transform into a monster to fight the other monsters, oh yeah, also the main character can time travel, don't worry about it. Like, I feel like I'm spoiling the show, but like, it's the first episode. It's my first impressions. So like, yeah, the show is insane. The old-timey, future, like the setting, the visual setting, the characters being, the designs being cool. Also, look, that's what I was talking about. I told you, every modern anime design has different girl inner hair color from the outer hair color. As I was talking about in the Kemfa stream. Figure it out yourself type of anime. I mean, it's just the first episode. Maybe it'll get explained, or maybe it'll just continue to spiral and get crazy. But yeah, we got the old-timey Kyoto, the transforming hero stuff, the ReZero time travel stuff thrown in all of this. I feel like the show would have already been insane and interesting enough, but then they just add the ReZero time travel stuff. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, unlike the previous show where I'm like, okay, I have a decent read on this. I feel like I know what type of show it's gonna be. This one, I'm like, I don't know, man. It could be whatever. It could honestly go either way. It could be the best thing known to man, or it could be the worst. I don't see that, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't see the show having the deepest plot, just because it's trying to do so many things at the same time. But behind all the crazy stuff, I do think at its core, it is like, I want to say it's mostly like a battle shonen anime. But because of all this crazy stuff, it might actually be unique enough to be a unique watch, or a good watch. Also has good character designs. Look, she even has the different colored hair. That's crazy. I'm also just a fan of purple hair and ponytails, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, I think, again, I don't see it having the deepest plot or doing anything that it's doing super well or better than any other show, but I just think I think it might be, because of all its crazy stuff, I think it might be unique enough to be an interesting watch. So that is why I will put it in the maybe watch tier. Because again, it might be cool, but it might not be cool. Also, this keeps getting resized every time I add in a tier, so don't worry about it. Also, I realized I'm not changing the text, which I probably should be. Okay, maybe I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Hold on, that's too long. I hate how everything doesn't move to where I want it to be. So yeah, I'll give it in the maybe watch. I could see it going both ways. I could see it being a train wreck, and just being way too complicated for its own good, but I could also see it being just interesting enough and doing enough interesting things to just be worth watching, train wreck or not. But yeah, I will also have all the anime that I talk about listed in the timestamps and in the description, if you want to check out any of these shows for yourselves. Figure it out yourself type of anime. It's interesting, definitely. It's just getting hyped for the first episode, and then the rest of the thing is just pure boredom, but only one way to know. It might be. The rest of the show might just be sitting down and explaining what the hell just happened during that first episode, and by the time they finish explaining it, the show will be over. So it'll really determine. It'll really be, again, that's why I'm like, yeah, this could go either way. This could be the next greatest show, or it could be a train wreck, but I think either way, it might be worth watching, so I don't know, maybe Maybe it goes up here. I don't know, man. That's just what I'm saying, man. But I'll put it in the maybe watch category for now, because again, I can see it going either way. This time I will actually update. But yeah, if any of this interests you, if it sounds interesting, of this isekai transforming hero time travel show, if that sounds interesting to you, or again, if the main girl looks cute, if you think the main girl is cute, then I'm sure you'll have a good time. So I'm whether it be good or not, it might be a show that I will definitely watch just to see. I want to know where it goes. Sure. Spidkey. Subjid. Okay. You're gonna have to, for legal reasons, you're gonna have to tell me if you're having a stroke. You don't have to tell me that, but it would be nice to know. Suppose. I suppose. Also, I would buy a plush of, this thing. I'm not gonna lie. Although, I'm just not plush buying mood. Don't worry about me. Okay, and now, next, we have a show that's the exact opposite. We got Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter. I will actually remember to put it in the on screen. I've decided to make a plush for all my favorite VTubers, but I don't want to make 50 plus. Make 50 plus, I believe in you. I want to learn how to crochet just so I can make plushies of everything. I want plushies of. I want to make a plushie of Odd Rock. I want to make a plushie of me. I mostly just want to make a plushie of me and Palutena. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll pick up crocheting. Maybe that's what I can do without any internet. I haven't bought a single piece of felt. I'm just gonna learn how to crochet. But yeah, you could buy felt and but don't you need like an ironing, not an ironing, like a sewing table, like an actual sewing table if you want to do stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure with crochet, like, if you're good enough with a needle, then you could just make whatever thing you want. But hey, I've not learned how to do that yet. Anyway, not getting distracted. Because I got a book of like how to crochet dragons, and then I read the first page and I'm like, I don't understand a single word in this book. So I was like, maybe I should try to make something easier. So then I went to the store and bought like Crochet for Babies 101 book, and that was a little easier to follow. No, go off topic or no off topic conversations. Anyway, I watched a video and I actually died. It sounds like you got better though. I hope you get better soon from your whole dying thing. Anyway, I don't have much to say about this show. Unlike the last one, I do not have a lot to say about this one. It is Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter, and it is a comfy fantasy show that is pretty effing boring. It is the complete opposite of the last show that was completely insane. This is very boring and predictable and like, listen, I know it's just the first episode, okay? You gotta establish things, you gotta do stuff, okay? I get it, okay? But like, the show feels really flat, as in like none of the characters have like standout personalities. The show isn't doing anything super interesting, and the world building is just kind of like there. Like, it's not a horrible show. It is, I think, what the kids refer to as mid. I always feel bad because like, I can, at the same time, I can also see, like, you know, if you're in the mood for this kind of show, if you're in the mood for a comfy, safe show, then, like, yeah, I could see this being someone's, like, favorite show. But not mine! So, this guy goes off to teach the Duke's daughter magic, but, and that's this girl. She's very cute. It's a light novel, whatever. And then she has to sit on his lap and is, oh my gosh, she's so embarrassed. And then, oh my gosh, is that Momo Suzunechi? Am I crazy? Or does that the maid girl look exactly like Momo Suzunechi? It might just be the blonde hair and green eyes and boobies. That's all I got. Those are the 3 distinctive features of Momo Suzunechi. Hold on, I'm not crazy, I'll prove it to you. Yes, we're getting a picture up. Yes, my entire effing browser crashed. Yes, I'm using a screenshot tool. Yes. What did I do? I broke it! I broke it! I absolutely broke it. Okay, I fixed it. Nope, I broke it. Hold on. Chotomate kudasai. Take a water break. Computer, please. I'm not doing anything that taxing. You have to relax. No, I'll not name any of my layers. Do you see it? You see it? She's like a Nene in a different art style. Anyway, not important right now. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the plot of the show. Oh yeah, you see it, right? Okay. And longer hair, yeah. I'm glad I'm not crazy. Anyway. So the guy goes off to teach the Duke's daughter magic, which is this girl on the right, and also Nene's there for some reason. I don't actually remember her name. I don't remember the name of any character in any show. I'm really bad with names. I think I have names written down like once. But I mostly just say main guy, main girl, Nene. So the guy goes off to teach the Duke's daughter magic, but oh no, she can't use any magic at all. So it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be an issue. He's gonna have to overcome this obstacle. It's an obstacle for the characters in the story to overcome. Oh my gosh. And also, he has to teach the maid magic too. Just so there can be more than one character, just so there's can be 2 characters in this show, because we can't make a show with just 2 characters. Yeah, their proportions seem a little off. Like her head seems too big. I want to say she's more in the foreground, but still weird. Wow, look at them. They're making silly faces. There's also this girl who's like only shown in flashbacks, but I'm sure she'll be part of the show. Because again, we need more than like 2 characters. She just has a bigger head. Yeah, don't look at it for too long. I think I just took more pictures of Nene. I'm sorry. They also have 7 elemental magic. They got what the fudge was it? They've used these 7 elements before in anime. I just don't remember what it was. It's fire, water, wind, earth, dark, light, and I don't remember what this is. Hold on, I think I've written it down somewhere. Because I'm like, I feel like, oh yeah, I always feel like there is a... I remember I had these 7 elements in my head for some reason, but I don't remember where they came from. Hold on, I have it written down somewhere. It's somewhere. It's somewhere here. Because I wrote it down for a story I want to write later. It's somewhere in the... It's somewhere in my deep vast of whips. Okay. I'm dumb. It is fire, water, wind, earth, lightning, darkness, and light. So that's dark. So that's... Don't worry about it. Those are the seven Chaos Emeralds. I mean Dragon Balls. I mean, 7 it does happen a lot in anime. Although I know Chaos Emeralds were directly inspired based off Dragon Balls, but 7 appears a lot in anime. But yeah, here we have water being blue and electricity being like white or yellow, and wind is green. I remember in a Mario Kart stream we had an argument about what color lightning should be, and I said yellow, and people were like, lightning's more like blue, but I'm like, but water is blue if you're making elements like this, and then dirt has to be brown. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. Anyway, I got off topic. Anyway, the show's boring. She tries to do magic, and she can't do magic, but then the guy does magic, and he's like, I'll teach you guys magic. I won't give up, because I'm a nice guy. I won't. Argue with what color lightning is? Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Lightning can be whatever color you want it to be. Anyway, if you're making a fictional story, you can make whatever thing you want it to be. But yeah, here they have light being... Well, I guess light and lightning and light element overlap a little bit. Whatever, not important right now. Actually, no, I think that's Earth. Light, shadow, light, water, Earth. Whatever. Anyway, I know. I'm trying to make things happen out of the show that are not things. The main problem with the show is that none of the characters have a distinct personality. Like, the main guy is just nice and he wants to help the girls learn magic, and the two girls are cute and want to learn magic. Like, that's the only character trait I can give you. And that's mostly what the show is leaning on, because the plot is like, he's gonna teach the girls magic. You know? That's just disappointing. Again, I don't want to be too mean, because like the story could go in a different direction, or it could get in more interesting later, but I'm pretty sure it won't deviate too much from what I picked up in the first episode. Like, the girls will learn magic through lots of trial and effort and learning about the true meaning of friendship and so on. And so forth. Like, I feel like I got the whole plot of the whole show just from watching the first episode, where I'm like, yeah, I got it. But again, you know, if you want a cozy, comfy show that doesn't do anything crazy, then sure, I can see some people liking it. But for me, personally, I can't find it. I will put it in the don't watch tier. It's not so bad that it's not in the don't watch. It doesn't do anything egregiously bad. It is just aggressively mid. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. Aggressively mid. So yeah, I personally think the show is painfully boring. But you know, again, it's by far not the worst anime in the world. Like, if I finished it, I could see myself giving it like a 5 or a 6. Like, it's not bad. And I do think there will be people that vibe with it. I do think, like, you know, if a cozy, you know, show with pleasant characters and cute girls in it is what you want, then sure, go ahead. But, just, not me. To me, that's a 2.5. I've watched a lot of bad anime. My standard for bad anime is way higher than a show that is just boring. Like, there are shows that are, like, offensively bad. Where I'm like, you could definitely do a lot worse than boring. We live in a world, we live in a world where your favorite anime exists, and that is obviously a lot worse. I was trying to think of what anime I could say that will get people's jimmies in a gym. But no, every anime is somebody's favorite anime, and I know that. But man, I watched some bad anime. But that's off topic. That's off topic. You hear me rattling. If you hear rattling around, that's the Joy-Con 2s that I have tied together. Just move on. Just put it out. Just put the show out of its misery. Nice fidget toy, yeah. I took all my fidget toys to my new place, and I don't have any fidget toys here. So I just have two Joy-Con straps tied together. Okay, next anime time. Why not? I've told you. Catch up on your Solaris lore. How much did I miss? I've been talking like constantly how I would move at the end of June. But I moved to a new place and it doesn't have very good internet, and I'm desperately trying to move to a new place. So right now I'm at the old mama's base. Just because it has internet. But I'm working on getting into a new place. The old stomping ground. Anyway, next anime. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. Although that was pretty much it. I moved to a new place and it doesn't have great internet and I can't stream there. So I'm looking for a new place. From the east of the west of the sun, yeah. We had to move the capital. You know, like in old-timey Japan, they move the capital all the time? That's what happened. Anyway. Is something vibrating? Is my desk vibrating? Is there an earthquake happening? Sun doesn't get earthquakes. Anyways. I know, in Japan I was constantly like, is that earthquake? Earthquake? Earthquake! Is there gonna be an earthquake? Is there gonna be an earthquake? Are you vibrating? It might be me. I swear, like the first year or two I lived in Japan, like there were hardly any earthquakes, but then like there was just like one really big earthquake that destroyed my entire apartment. And by destroyed my apartment, I mean threw all of my stuff onto the ground, and I had to spend like the next day cleaning it up, and I had to buy a new coffee maker and everything. But there was like one really big earthquake, and then ever since then I get jump scared by the earthquake alert sound. You know, the one that's like earthquake, Which they updated halfway through I was in Japan. They gave it an English dub. Because for the first while I was in Japan, it would go, Jishin desu, But then halfway through they gave it an English dub. I'm really good at making that noise when I'm sick. Okay, maybe it's not that. It's not quite that. Anyway, 5? No, we're talking about 9. Okay, now we are officially going into talking about the 9 anime. You already know I gotta check out the visual novel adaptation. Because I'm the visual novel otaku, apparently, that never actually plays visual novel games. I sometimes play visual novel games. But there was an era back in, like, 2011, 2012, where I just watched a bunch of the anime based off visual novels. That's when I watched all like the key anime like Air, Clannad, stuff like that. Canon the remake, not Canon the 90s OVA. Although I should watch the 90s OVA. That might be the only like key thing I haven't seen. Anyway, not important. So, and moving on to this show, it's a visual novel adaptation, which is very rare actually nowadays. Nowadays everything is just light novels. But the show, you see what the, if you like, oh yeah, what's the show about? It's about, I'm being 100% honest with you. I'm not sure what this show is about, actually. It definitely leans into the weird, esoteric, non-linear storytelling that visual novels are infamous for. I think it's a supernatural mystery show? Because in the first, okay, it's one way of introducing. Okay, another way of I wasn't even sure what genre this was in at first. Because the first, like, minute of the show, it's like this weird, like, this guy gets attacked by this evil monster and he has to join an organization and he gets turned into a superhero. And then this girl comes from the sky and resets the universe. And then, oh wait, hold on, that's just a show within the show. And they're actually at, like, a, like, event for an in-universe anime. So that's already weird. That's a weird way to start your show, with a cold open of a show within the show. What other show did that? What was the other, like, not Steins Gate, but takes place in the same universe? One of those shows did that. An anime shot, that's an anime and that's watching an anime. You're watching an anime of people watching an anime of people watching an anime of people watching an anime. Again, I always wonder, in anime, do they see these as anime characters or real life characters? Because they're like real life characters, so does anime look hyper realistic to them? Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too hard. I'm just trying to figure out what I have and have not said about this show. So yeah, I think it's like a supernatural mystery show, because the first episode is like introducing the characters, and then a bunch of weird supernatural crap starts happening. Like they had a mysterious orb that got broken, and that like showed reflections of all the major characters. And then there was also like a hairpin that follows people around. Like, ooh, I put it in a drawer and then it appeared on the desk. And then there's also like a stuffed animal that teleports around and has some sort of camera in it. And then there's somebody got turned into a stone statue, and that was weird. And then also the school lit on fire for some random reason. So like, there's just lots of mysteries that happen. Oh yeah, this girl. The irony is not lost on me of like people harassing this cosplayer and taking pictures of her until the guy's like, "Hey guys, back up." And I took a picture of it, so I am in no better of a position. I also like how the guy in the back is just a brick for a face because he's a phone. But yeah, I do like the character design of the show. Because we have this like cosplay girl, and then later she shows up in glasses and a maid outfit. And then there's this random background character that's Megumin from Konosuba. Like, she didn't have any speaking dialogue, but surely she has to be a main character, because look at her. Why would you go to that effort just for a background character? Yeah, and then here's that weird plushie that follows people around. And then there's also this background character who is way too designed to actually be a background character. And then we also got the throwback perv best friend character, like it's a 2010s manga. I know, I was just talking about that in Kempha. And I'm like, oh yeah, you know, that's a trope. The pervy best friend character is kind of a trope that's kind of died out. But here we go. We got a show in 2025 that's got a perv best friend character. And then there's the hairpin that mysteriously follows people around. And then it's a stone statue, but it looks real because it's bleeding hyper-realistic blood. And oh no, the school lit on fire. That's crazy. So yeah, like, there's like a lot of like random stuff happening, and so I'm assuming it's kind of like a paranormal investigation kind of show, supernatural mystery kind of show of them trying to figure out the cause of all of this and how it all connects. I guess I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with yous. But I do like the show. I do appreciate the show. I like especially after the last show that I watched, which was super boring. This being odd and interesting definitely piqued my curiosity. I should not say meme words like that, because then I'm going to forget how it's actually said. Whatever. It piqued my curiosity. And I do like the general vibe of the show. It's very visual novel feeling, where it's kind of like slice of life, following the main character around as it goes about his day, but with like major plot threads happening in the background and lots of weird eccentric characters. I need to click on the window. Like, there's like a crazy little sister character who is like, I love my Oni-chan. And then we got the perv best friend character, and then we got the main girl who has a very unique voice. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's like oddly pitched. It's not like high pitched, but it's also not like low pitched. It's just like in a completely different pitch. It's like a completely different direction. But I do like it. It does make her character unique by just the fact that she has a weird, unique voice. Going by the Japanese version. I don't know what she sounds like in the dub, or if the show even has a dub. And I broke my wrist strap! Oh no, I didn't break it. Okay, I fixed it. I thought I got it stuck. And then we have the main character who's kind of, he has more going on to him than meets the eye. Like, he lives by himself away from his parents for some inexplicitly explained reason. For no explicitly explained reason. And we got interesting background characters. So I think the characters will definitely carry the show and the weird plots that happen. So I like it. I've, again, not super sure on it. But I will put it in the... I can't find it, even though I put them in order. I'll put this in the maybe watch. Above or below, because I figured out what tier I want all these to go in, but I don't know what order I want them to go in specifically. I'll put it slightly below. Yeah, I'll put it slightly below. It has slightly less going on. It might be more consistent, but it might... Yeah, it'll go in the maybe watch. I'll figure it out at the end of the stream of what exactly order everything's going to go into. But yeah, I can't really tell where the show is going from the first episode, but I am intrigued. I want to know what's going on with the plushies and all the background characters and the hairpin and the statues and the fire. Like, I want to know. Like, if the first episode was to intrigue you, I'm definitely intrigued. And you know, I miss visual novel adaptations. I'm trying to remember the last, like, visual novel adaptation that I watched. I can't think of it off the top of my head, so I guess it's been a while. I was gonna say Charlotte, but no, that's not. That was just written by people who made visual novels. Not necessarily a visual novel adaptation in itself. But yeah, I'll put it in the maybe watch for the time being. I can't really tell where the show is going, but I'm intrigued, so I'll probably keep watching it, and if I could definitely see it being very good and interesting, and I can also see it being a train wreck. That's just how visual novel adaptations go. That's just how visual novel adaptations go. Okay, depending on who you ask, all visual novel adaptations are bad. But I like a lot of visual novel adaptations. But you just have to accept the fact that they are a 12 to 24 episode anime based on a 500-hour long visual novel. But some are really unique. What was that one that, like, after, like, they went back in time, like, it's an actual visual novel? Like, after episode 7, they went back to the ending of episode 2 to do someone else's route in the visual novel. That was cool. Or you just go the Clannad route, where you do the route of the main girl. You do the route for a girl, and then they just become instead of they become lovers and the game ends. They just they become friends, and then the show continues going on. I don't watch enough anime anymore to know yet. If anyone should be answering these questions, it's me. And I can't remember last time a visual novel adaptation came out. I might be able to look it up. Beep, beep, beep. If I can remember how to use AniList. Source material, visual novel. Year 25. Okay, Summer Pockets just came out. I kind of forgot about that one. But I have not watched Summer Pockets yet. Atari came out. That's been on my plan to watch. Yeah, and all of 2023, 2024, like 2 effing anime came out. Trying to figure out the most recent visual novel anime I actually watched. 2021? 2020? Nekopata, the animation happened. Did the Kid Wafter anime actually come out? 2019? Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel. Steins Gate Zero came out in 2018. Does that count? That doesn't count. So yeah, back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, visual novels used to be all the rage, but now they're kind of not. The Higurashi remake? Does the Higurashi remake not count? Shh. Or did the Higurashi remake come out earlier than I thought? Little young Sheldon right here. That is the worst thing that you could possibly say to me. I should definitely time you out right now. I can't think of anything worse that you could say. Listen, I know you didn't mean it like that, but that is the worst insult that you could have possibly told me. Okay, well then, see you later. I was debating timing you out for like 1 second just as a joke. But I think I did that to somebody one time, and then they didn't get the joke, and then didn't come back after that 1 second, and thought that they were permanently banned, and I still don't think I've seen them. Anyway, I will watch it just because it's a visual novel adaptation. Visual novel adaptations are not very common. But as far as a general anime, I think it might be interesting. I think it might be cool. There we go. How many are we in? Personally, I could get skip banned and still come back. But only if you were like temporarily timed out, right? Because if you were banned, you wouldn't ban a fade. You wouldn't do that. That's wouldn't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're almost halfway there. But hey, I'm sorry. The next one I don't have a lot to say about. Sure. Just don't get banned and we'll never have to find out. Colon D. Anyway, next anime is Spot the Main Character, Challenge Actually Difficult. Is the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. It is a comfy little romance anime. It is... Okay, you know earlier, the other show that I was talking about, where I'm like, hey, this is a boring but comfy anime. If you're gonna watch that, you should just watch this instead, because this is, slightly less boring and much more comfy. By the way, it's this girl right here. In case you were fail, it's the corner seat. It's always the corner seat. And then this one, it's always the corner seat. It's always the corner seat, even though a lot of people here have distinct outfits. But yeah, most of the, if you think the main girl looks cute, you'll probably like this show. Because the main girl is very cute, and the show is very good at making her look cute, okay? These are just screenshots from the opening, but the actual show itself also has moments like these. So yeah, basically the main setup is the main guy. It looks scary, so everyone treats him badly and like he's a delinquent and a bully. But he's not a delinquent or a bully, he's a nice guy. And this girl comes over and she's really cute and she sees him for who he truly is, and she's not afraid of him, and she treats him like a human being, and that's nice. And she sees the guy for who he really is. Wow, so original, I know. Like, it's a little not original, a little bit wish fulfillment-y. But you know, it's not like aggressively bad. It's just kind of like nice and sweet, you know. And see, look, I told you the main girl's cute. A lot. What in the YN main character is this one? I don't know what that means. But I love how much time and effort was spent into the animation cuts to make the main girl look as physically cute as physically possible. And then she gets the other bullies are like, you don't want to be hanging out with that guy. That guy's a bully. And she's like, no, he's a nice guy. And then he protects her, and she's like, oh my gosh, I told you were a nice guy. I'll be nice to you. Happy face. You'll understand one day. Why does it? Don't say super foreboding things like that. You'll freak me out. Hold on, I need that picture again. Never mind. Tell me right now. I'll explode. It's okay. Tell me later. I'll contain my explosion for another time. Okay, anyway. But yeah, why is a nickname used in fan fictions to signify you, aka the main reader? Okay. Is that what we're using? Because if you remember from the ending of the Sonic OVA watch along, I had a really long argument with my friends Poke and Dom with what a I can't even remember it. A stand-in, a self-insert character. Because for self-insert character, they were like, oh, that's for the writer's self-insert character. But I'm like, I also use self-insert character for, like, the character that the viewer is supposed to be inserting themselves onto in that way. And I still think I'm right that you can use the term self-insert for both. But sure, YN, it can be also that term. But yeah, I do like it. It's a little bit wish fulfillment-y of like, yeah, self-insert into the main character, and the main girl is just kind of like way too nice for no real reason. But it does make for a really feel-good kind of show. And I did enjoy it, and I might just watch it just because, again, it is very comfy and wholesome and very relaxing. I know, I keep saying comfy for when I'm like, oh yeah, the show's boring, actually. But no, comfy does not mean boring. Comfy just kind of means, like, there's not a whole lot of conflict going on, and it is a very, like, you just it's a show to relax with, you know? What was that one Yuri show that I was like, this is my favorite comfy show? Ah, I forgot! Now I'm gonna have to spend the next 20 years trying to remember. Hopefully I'll remember at some point. And it involved a dragon. It's that, you know, that dragon, that gif of the dragon girl? That's the show that I'm talking about. Anyway, so yeah, I like the show. Main girl's really cute. There's nothing, it's not too super boring. It's just a little bit wish fulfillment-y with the main girl just being way too nice for no real reason. But it is a very comfy and good feeling kind of show. I just wonder if it'll keep the show, that'll be enough to keep the show interesting for 12 episodes. And that's all I really gotta say. So you know what? I'm feeling generous today. I will put this in the, you can't see my tears. Now you can. Okay, I will put this in the, I'll put this in should watch. Because I know I described it a lot like this show, the Duke's Daughter show, but like, these characters have like personality, and the show has like a plot, and it's trying to do things, and I could definitely see it pulling off the more comfy chill vibes a lot better. So I will say, if you look at this and you're like, wow, that main girl is really cute, I would watch a whole show with her in it, then yeah, you probably won't be disappointed by this show. Because the main girl is very cute. And the show is not terrible. So I'll put this in like low should watch tier. Because I don't think it'll get any worse. Yeah, kind of. It's mostly used when a character is shipped with a reader or writer. Oh. I like the... Hold on, I'm learning about fanfic. I'm looking about fan. I've written a fan fiction, and I still don't know anything about fan fictions. I'm learning about the fan fiction culture lore. It's mostly when a character is shipped with the reader or writer, and most of the stories that go like that have this type of chemistry. Okay. Of like having the like self-insert character of like, this is supposed to be the, you know, target audience character, you know? That's why Chris Thorndike was in Sonic X. Because you're supposed to self-insert to Chris Thorndike of this, like, you know, 10-year-old kid that has Sonic as a best friend. Like, that's the target audience of, hey, 10-year-olds who really want to have Sonic as a best friend. Did I get it right? Did I get it right? Anyway, should watch. I'm not foaming at the mouth to watch more of it, but I could definitely see myself being in the mood to, like, binge it at some point. So I think it'll be worth watching. Yeah, like that. Okay. I remember I learned about that when I was watching, like, college lectures about writing. I forget what that was. Yish sent it to me like 20 years ago, and then I watched it like 2 years ago. It's like you're the main character. The main character shipped, yeah. I get what you mean. Autocorrect just added a word to my sentence. Don't worry. I mostly autocorrect and just autocorrect the autocorrecting out. So I mostly never notice when you say that autocorrect screwed you over. Anyway, next show is drumroll please. I have to fix this every single time because nothing is the right name or the right length. Gachiakuta. Not that. Okay. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Solaris, all of this is just in the middle. Do you just think anime is mid now? Do you not think? Is there even a point of the farther ends of the definitely watch and please don't watch tiers? Yes, there is definitely reason for that, because this is good. I'm not gonna lie to you. People were hyping it up, and I was skeptical going into it, but I watched it with an open mind, and I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of digging this show. It is a dark, edgy shonen anime, with a cool world and a very cool premise. Like, you look at this and you're like, oh, this is really dark and edgy. This is Tokyo Ghoul all over again. Or it's just dark. I thought that was a squirrel. Kind of does look like a little bit of a squirrel. But no, it's okay. I don't hate Tokyo Ghoul either, but still, you get the point of, like, yeah, it looks like a really dark and edgy anime, but in actuality, like, it is, but it's also really cool at the same time. So basically, people live in this floating city, and all of their garbage is thrown down below into the pit. And yeah, and if you commit a crime, especially if you're a minority, then you also get thrown into the pit. Yeah, they just have a big pit that they throw garbage into, and also they throw people into that they want to execute, and they presumably die in the pit. But yeah, there's a lot of different, like, themes happening here, like lots of classism going on in the show. Like, the two halves of the floating city, like, you got this nice half, and then you got the slums. And the people who lived in the slums are there because their ancestors committed some sort of crime, i.e. they were just born wrongly as viewed by society, right? That could be a metaphor for something, you know, but for discrimination, which is not something that anime has never talked about, but it's still not something that anime often talks about, so it is a very interesting premise for an anime. I feel like the main character is gonna get pushed into the pit or whatever, discover shocking things. You have more foresight than I do, because you'll never guess what happens. The main character gets thrown into the pit. I was like, oh yeah, the pit equals death. I never even considered the fact that, like, they treat, like, oh, everybody thrown into the pit dies. So I thought the whole thing was, like, trying to be and they built up this, like, upper world so much. So, like, I thought we were gonna be, and they have, like, this character that's cute, and, like, I thought they were gonna be focusing on this a lot, like, coming from the show, like, they were trying to spend the entire time avoid being thrown into the pit, and they'll kill off characters by throwing them into the pit. I like to thank my family and this stream. I'm actually smart. But it's so obvious, yeah. In hindsight, it's definitely obvious that the show is gonna be, the main character gets thrown into the pit, and it's basically hell, and he has to, the whole show is him climbing out of hell. Because, yeah, he gets thrown into the pit, and immediately is attacked by a giant fudging hell monster. So yeah, there's a lot going on in this show. But yeah, it's still a shonen, so the main character's family gets killed, because you cannot make a popular shonen anime without killing off the main character's family. It's a rule at this point. So yeah, they have the main character's father figure get murdered, except instead of them figuring out who the murderer is, they blame the main character, and he gets thrown into the pit. Skill issue. Listen, sometimes I overthink things, and because I've been watching anime for, like, most of my life, and so I'm like, oh, I have a decent read on where the show is going to go, because obviously they won't take the super obvious path to it. They'll subvert it. But, like, no, sometimes the most obvious path is the more interesting path, and definitely what they should do and what they did do. And I'm just overthinking it. But yeah, the pit is basically just hell. It's just hell. It's obviously the floor, the ground of the actual place before the floating city happened. But it is just basically hell. It's full of trash and full of fudging evil monsters, and I'm sure other characters. It's basically the opposite of Made in Abyss. Where Made in Abyss, they were trying to climb down into the bottom of the hole. And this one is like, oh, the main character is trying to climb out of hell. So we have this interesting theming of, like, an anime talking about discrimination and, like, all this stuff. And, yeah, we have the main character's family getting murdered by a mysterious guy and then getting framed for it and getting thrown into the pit. So we have a very strong premise of the main character basically wanting to climb out of hell itself to avenge his father and find out who actually killed him. And yeah, I have an idea how this is gonna go. Yeah, I'm assuming the ending is he gets out of the pit, finds out who killed his father, and then avenges his father, right? And I'm sure there'll be some sort of twist, but I'm sure that's how it will be. But it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, I'm hooked. I'm hooked on the premise. I'm so hooked on the premise because, okay, you know what? I will say, this girl who's super cute, and he kind of builds up a, like, he wants to confess his love to her kind of thing. When he gets framed for murder, she's like immediately like, fuck you, you definitely murdered him. I thought you were better than this, F you. And I'm like, wow, okay. I see you were fake. You were a fake friend. I can't believe you were a fake friend. That's crazy. So I don't know why they built up this girl to be super cute just to stab the main character in the gut. But I guess it works well to give the main character motivation to get out of the pit and clear his name. Little lady has her priorities. Little lady's racist. She's like, I should have known you were one of those people. Immediately. That's crazy. But yeah, I think it has a super strong premise. I think it has a really cool art direction. Like, it looks very cool. It has very sketchy lines. The background is very cool. And also, they have a specific person who did the graffiti design. So right off the bat, that's fun that they have a specific person who did all the graffiti of the show. Picture the main character on the floor with blood, yeah. Because basically he saw his dad get stabbed, and then he's like holding his dad in his arms, and he's like, son, you have to remember, Zelda is your... And then he dies and coughs up blood all over the main character, and then the police show up and see the guy covered in blood and see the dead body, and was like, oh, you're the one who killed him, obviously. He looks like a squirrel that got run over by a car. Not flat enough, sorry. Anyway, between the very strong premise of the main character having a lot of motivation, wanting to avenge his dad and find the real identity of the killer and clear his name, literally having to climb out of hell itself, because they talk about all the time, like, oh yeah, we just assume people that get thrown into the pit die because, you know, they never come back and the pit's a long way down. So yeah, we have this guy climbing out of hell, wanting to clear his name, very cool visual style. We got the discrimination themes, like, we got a lot of stuff going on. So you know what, unironically, I liked this a lot, so I will put it in the definitely watch tier. Now I have to remake my whole thing. Spoiler alert, there's not anything in the please don't watch tier, I'm sorry. So here, we'll just make it like that for now. So yeah, I like that. I like the show a lot. I think it has a very good premise. I know. Listen, I'm not supposed to like the popular thing because I'm a cool person. I'm a hipster. I'm a critic that does not follow what the masses go to. But no, the show is just good. The show is just good. If any of this interests you, if you think the show looks cool, if you think the themes are interesting, if you think the concept of main character having to climb out of hell itself to avenge his family, you think that, and clear his name, you think that's a cool concept, definitely watch this show. It's a good show. I think it has a cool themes, a good setup, a lot of potential, and I will definitely be watching it when it finishes airing. So yeah, that will give us our first definitely watch of the tier. Of definite, I can't speak words anymore. How far are we in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're over halfway. Okay, next showtime. So yeah, definitely this show's worth the hype. I will definitely be watching it. And also has a really cool opening thing. Definitely recommend checking that out. It's like death metal and stuff. It's really sick. Anyway, somehow the complete opposite, the polar and spiritual opposite of a grungy shonen, edgy grungy shonen anime. We got Yuri! Wait. We got Yuri! Hell yeah. Over halfway, they say before the stream is over 10 hours long. Yeah, that's what it goes on. So yeah, I have no idea how I'm going to... We're going to use the shorter English title. This anime is Watashi ga Koibito ni naru wake nainja Murimuri, in parentheses, Muri ja Nakatta? Or in English, there's no freaking way I'll be your lover, unless, What if we put our Minecraft beds next to each other? Haha, just kidding. Unless? Unless? It's basically the vibes that it gives off. Pride Month never ends. So yeah, I checked this show out mostly because I've been on like a Yuri kick recently. I'm not 100% sure why. I've just been reading a lot of Yuri light novels and playing Yuri video games and stuff. Also watching Yuri anime. So I've mostly watched this show just because I've been on a Yuri kick recently, but I wasn't expecting it to actually be really, really good. Like, it's like a very fun, high energy, wholesome gay rom-com. Like, is the only way that I can really explain that. So, like, in the first 5 minutes, hold on. So, in the first 5 minutes, we learn that the main character, I will say, okay, because it's a gay show, and there are, I can't just say main guy, main girl, I will actually say their names. Renako, the main character, Renako, is a introvert, and she did her best to try to be more sociable and turn into a introvert and extrovert. I gotta go, bye, see you next time. Watch the gay show! That's all I have to say! But bye, see you later. The VOD will be timestamped in case you want to see the rest. My air conditioner, did I never turn my air conditioner back on? No, it's on. Okay, whatever. Bye. Thank you for coming by. I will continue ranting for the lurkers and VOD watchers. Anyway, in the first 5 minutes, my throat is dying. In the first 5 minutes, we learned that the main character, Renako, was an introvert and did her best to become a more sociable person going into the new school. but she's still having a hard time and gets like massive burnout. Like she somehow stumbled into a friendship with all these other extroverted girls. If I mispronounce that word at any time, I'm sick, don't worry about it. I also like how she literally just looks like Bocchi the Rock in her pre transition into a new life days. Also, I said transition. Because yeah, she cut her hair and was practiced how to be sociable and have the appearance of being sociable, but on the inside she's still an introvert. So already we have themes of people trying to be something that they're not and having trouble with that. So she's having a difficult time until this girl, the rich girl with the blonde hair, accidentally gets her surprised, and she falls off a school building, and then she jumps to save her. And then I didn't realize until later, I was looking back on the screenshots, that the clouds made it look like Mai has like wings. But yeah, then they have this conversation, which is like the best conversation in like the first episode of an anime ever. Like, I don't know, it's like they have a real ass conversation, and they open, like, because up until now they've been kind of like fake friends, where she's been kind of putting on her like fake sociable facade. But here she actually talks about like, yeah, you know, I'm really an introvert, and I've been trying really hard to try to be more sociable so I can make friends. You know, she has a real ass conversation with Mai, someone who she was like pretending to be friends with, but then she like actually opens up to her, and they like connect, and they talk about how hard it is for Renako to be an extrovert. I can't speak. Also, in translation note, in the Japanese, the way they use and the way they talk about it, they are definitely talking about introvert versus extrovert. Inka and Yokya. I've seen some translations translate Yokya as normie, but that's not what that means. That just means like an extroverted person. Because there's a very noticeable difference between the English word extrovert and normie. Because normie is more of like an insult, if anything. Anyway, there's your Japanese lesson for the day. But in Japanese, they use inkya and yokya, which basically means introvert and extrovert. I think is the closest translation. Anyway, so Renako opens up about that, has the first real conversation with her like fake friend, and then Mai also opens up and talks about how difficult it is being the rich girl's school idol all the time, and how she has to keep up appearances just because she's rich and whatnot. And then she's like, oh wow, I guess everybody is having, you know, trouble trying to, you know, play a role that they are not necessarily suited for. And, you know, we have theming. We got theming going on. Hold on, twist out my nunchucks. Twist out my Joy-Con straps. We got theming going on of people pretending to be something they're not just for society, you know? Like, do you see anything about, you know, like society forcing ideals onto people and people covering up their true nature just to fit in more with society? And the whole theme of the show is opening up and, you know, being your real self and being happier, being your real self. You think, you know, it's a Yuri show. So, like, off the bat, this is the first, like, 5 minutes of the episode. Like, this isn't even, like, what the real bulk of the show is about. But already we got all of this interesting theming. When the show, like, don't get me wrong, even though this all has, like, very, like, deep meaning and, I can't think of words right now. Themes? I can't think of anything other than themes. It has a lot of themes and subtext going on, but at the end of the day, it is a very high energy rom-com. So anyway, I feel like most anime could have just stopped there and would have been like, okay, we got a show about people, you know, wanting trying to do some unmasking and be their real selves and connect with people on a deeper level. Also, my throat is dying. I still might be a little sick, but we're still talking about anime. Hold on, I need more water. I'm running out of water. Okay. So yeah, most anime could have just stopped there and been like, okay, it's a show about, you know, doing this. But no, we go one step further, because the literal next day, Mai confesses her undying love for Renako. Like, real ass love. She's like, I have fallen in love with you. I want to be your lover. None of this Yuri baiting nonsense. The plane that's going by in the background even makes a little heart shape. And Renako is like, what the fudge? I wasn't expecting this. I thought we were just gonna be friends. So Mai confesses her love, but Renako, I don't know if it's Renako or Renako. No, we can look that up right now. Okay, it is Renako. 3 syllables. Renako. Because in Romagization, it is not that is not super clear. Anyway, so yeah, Renako just wants to be friends, but Mai's like, no, I'm madly in love with you. Please date me. So she's like, wait, hold on. I just want to be, you know, I just want to have a, you know, sociable, fun school life, you know, and I just want to continue being friends. And Mai's like, no, we can be friends, but we can also be lovers. So they make up this, so they're like, hey, we don't want to be, you know, enemies because of this. We don't want this to ruin what we have going on. So they make up a compromise where half of the time, hold on, I'm trying to like, okay, here we go. I'm trying to get some good visuals for what's going on. So like half of the time they make up this crazy game where half of the time they are lovers and on half of the time they are friends, and whoever convinces the other that the other side is better wins. So like if Renako can convince Mai that being friends is better, then they get to be friends forever. And then if Mai convinces Renako that being lovers is better, then they are lovers. So, and then they both try to prove what is better. So, and thus wacky rom-com hijinks ensue. Again, another thing I like about this, as a purveyor of the Yuri arts, something I like in Yuri shows is where the whole gay thing is definitely an aspect and definitely is a thing that the show talks about, but it's not just the only aspect. Like, you could definitely do this without the Yuri. It's not like the main focus. It is just it is a part, but they don't completely ignore it, but they don't make it the main focus. So I like that a lot. But yeah, wacky hijinks ensue with them, being friends half the time and being lovers the other half. But yeah, I love everything that's happening here. It is a fun setup to a wacky rom-com, and I just love the visuals. Like, I know visually it's going to get probably toned down a little bit after the first episode, but like, there's a lot of great things that go by here. Like during the confession scene, that there's a plane in the background that turns into a little heart, and I like that a lot. There's just a lot of like background stuff that happens, and like art. I'm dying. My throat is dying. Okay, art style stuff that happens, and we also have other characters. This might potentially be a harem series? Question mark. Because we also got these 3 other characters: the cute innocent girl, the fun little sister girl, and the kudere, the cool girl. We got this is the one. This is in the pre-stream chat. This was what I was talking about, where I'm like, can I show this on stream? I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Also, her being embarrassed in the bathtub. No nudity. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, YouTube-kun. I don't think there is actually any. There's some fan service, definitely, but I don't know. I don't think there's actually... It doesn't go any farther than that. I started to say I think, but then I was like, wait, I know. I definitely would have noticed if there was actual nudity. Fan service sometimes can go over my head. It's just a thing that exists, but definitely when it goes that far, I definitely notice it. Anyway, unrelated note. I love the visual aspect. Like, they're at this little pool area, and Reneko is like, you shoved me into a limo and brought me here. And then during that part, we have a little visual gag happening, and the background character actually looks in the foreground and looks at the visual gag happen, which I thought was very funny. Like, her eyes are actually following the on-screen visual gag. Like, it has a lot of, like, fun animation quirks like that. And it is also very Yuri and gay and fun and cute and wholesome. And I like it a lot, okay? I don't know if my rambling for the last, like, 10-20 minutes has convinced you or not. But I think this is a very good show. There's a lot of cool stuff happening here. It's a fun setup to a very wacky and silly rom-com. And also very wholesomeness. And there's a lot of, like, really cool, interesting themes going on here. Like, opening up to people, trying to be someone you're not. Reneko having preconceived notions of what she thinks will make her happy. Because the whole game is based on the fact of, like, she thinks that happiness is a certain way. And she wants to try to replicate that. And in the first episode, we already see that kind of doesn't work out for her. So we kind of see this idea of Reneko, like, opening her mind to, like, what happiness even can look like and stuff like that. And those are very deep themes. I'm getting a little emotional. And there's this whole at the whole thing, there's also this whole gay thing mixed in without it really needing to be the center of attention. And the animation is really fun, and it really really breathes. I cannot express to you how much the like animation and sound effects and voice acting really add to the whole like fun vibe of this show. It's a lot of fun. Like, even without the whole Yuri part, or without the whole wholesomeness, like, I think it would be, like, in general, a fun rom-com, even without all of this, like, extra stuff that is handled very beautifully. So, and there's also a potential harem going on. There's a lot going on. My only fear is that the rest of the show will not live up to what the first episode did. But the first episode already set up such a good basis that I'm like, this is the easiest. Hold on, I can't find it. This is the easiest, easy, definitely watch best show I've watched so far of the season. Again, unless I don't see this being a hard recommendation for anyone, other than if you really are just not interested in a rom-com, I guess. But I like it a lot. It's really good. Let me catch up on chat in between talking about anime. Okay, we caught up on chat. But yeah, even if the rest of the show is only half as good as the first episode, I will still like it a lot, you know? Okay, I don't have too much to say about the last 4 anime. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 2 were kind of like, that's where I peaked. I'm sorry, I did not mean to watch those 2 episodes back to back of like the 2 best anime that I watched in this batch of 11. But like, yeah, if there's 2 that I'm definitely gonna be keeping up with, it's definitely these 2. Gachiakuta and Watashi ga Koibito ni naru wake nainja Murimuri ja Nakatta, or there's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless. By the way, I appreciate the use of the word freaking in the English translation, because the phrase muri is very difficult. The word muri is just in general very difficult to translate. Because you look at it, you pull it up in a dictionary, and you're like, ah, yes, the word muri means unreasonable, unnatural, unjustifiable. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. But then the actual way that it's used like, when I was teaching English in Japan, I'd be like, okay, and now it's time to write the letter B, and the kids would go, Muri, 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 Muri. No, 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 no. No, make it stop. Unreasonable, unnatural, unjustifiable. So, Muri is more of a... The better translation of Muri would be more like, no, 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 please, no. Absolutely not. No, 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 no. Yeah, it has a lot of other translations. Impossible, forced, compulsory, excessive, immoderate, to work too hard, to try too hard, no way, not a chance, never, dream on, irrational. So yeah, Moody's a good word. So to convey the emotion of Moody, no freaking way is also very good. So yeah, you know what, it even has a good translation. If it has a good dub, the show, it'll best show of the year. Best show of all time. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. If I've not convinced you to watch the show at this point, I don't know what more I can say. Other than, did I tell you that it's Yuri? Did I mention that it's Yuri? Because I feel like I really... That's really a point I should say. I'm out of water, by the way. But it's fine, because the next 4 shows should not take too long. Because the next show is... City, the animation. Let me just center that on screen. Okay, cool. What is this? Oh, yeah, don't spoil. I don't know why I have this here. I've not used it in, like, 3 years. Anyway. City the Animation is a wacky slice of life show. And it is good, and I like it. So anyway. No, it is basically a spiritual successor to Nichijou. Especially as in the fact that it is made by Kyoto Animation. The visuals look very similar to Nichijou. And, it is a fun, wacky, discombobulated slice of life show that is very funny. Except the visuals, I would say, is compared to Nichijou looked good, but the visuals in this show are like way smoother and like way more detailed. It's definitely, you can definitely feel that like 10-year gap between this show and Nichijou. But yeah, it is basically a spiritual successor to Nichijou. People talk about If I mention, I think I might be a little bit sick. Just very stuffy. And also, I think the Dayquil is wearing off. Anyway, so yeah, you hear the term spiritual successor a lot in like video games, but not a lot in like shows or movies. But definitely, this is a spiritual successor to Nichijou, made by the same people. But yeah, I like it a lot. I like Nichijou because it's wacky and crazy and has fun characters. And I like this show also because it's wacky and funny and has crazy characters. Is that tissue box plugged into the wall? Oh no, that's the phone. I can't blind. Yeah, they have a moment where the guy drops food into this guy's bag and they have this whole thing. And also, most of my screenshots are just this one girl, because I think she's cute. And I'm like, oh, hold on. I realized after that I watched the episode, I'm like, wait, hold on. All of them, half of my screenshots of this are just from this one girl, and this is like the last, like, 2 minutes of the episode. Also like how the clock is nonsense. Which is funny, because they had Japanese text earlier. Yeah, like in the background of here. So I don't know why the clock in specifically has to be nonsense other than just because it looks funny. But yeah, good character design. That's all I have to say. Anyway. Why are my things not working? My D-pad is not working. And by D-pad, I mean, my arrow keys. Hello? Is my keyboard working at all now? I need a new keyboard or new battery. I know, I just got new batteries for this keyboard. What the fudge? Okay, now it's working. Whatever. I don't know, man. Anyway, yeah, I like the show. It's if you like Nichijou, you'll probably also like the show. I will say I'm not sold on most of the characters. Most of the characters seem like just a means to an end, where I feel like the characters in Nichijou are a little bit more memorable, but I'm sure, like, it's only one episode. I'm sure, like Nichijou, they will grow on me in time. It's very funny. I don't have a lot to say. It's hard to analyze and talk deeply about the themes of comedy shows when I'm like, ha ha ha, the food went into the bag. Like, that's it. That's the only analysis I got. Sorry. So I will put this in the should watch tier, because I'm not completely sold on it yet. But again, if it keeps up the high, oh my gosh, why does my voice sound so weird? Because I'm hearing it muffled through my face. Anyway, yeah, if it keeps up the high energy, it didn't like super duper blow me away like it did like the other two shows on the tier above it did, but I definitely enjoyed it, and as long as it keeps up the high energy, I think it'll be worth a watch. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, I think I do have a fat tier. The should watch is becoming a little crowded. But again, I didn't make this hoping to have a perfectly balanced category. Again, I don't even have anything in the please don't watch tier, which I originally thought I would need upon making this, but there was no anime that were like horribly bad, so that's cool. I like when I'm not forced to watch bad anime. Anyway, this has an English name, doesn't it? Next one is about rocks. This next show rocks. Haha, nice pun. Thank you, Solaris. I know, I'm very hilarious. But yeah, the show's about rocks and gems. That's the joke. And a girl with a huge butt. So if you like rocks or girls with huge butts, then there you go. You got it. You got it right here. Anyway. I'm trying to pull up. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. Trying to... Frick! Hold on. Nothing is working now. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, Ruri no Houseki. That's what it's called. See what happens when I, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I ramble, okay? I ramble. Ruri rocks. That's the English name of it. Technically, rock is not, Houseki does not mean rock. Houseki means gem, technically speaking, but if you want the alliteration, then Ruri rock works too. Anyway, yes, I saw the clips of the main character with the huge assets. Not the main reason I wanted to check out the show. It was also an Azrad recommendation. I actually saw clips of this show, and I thought it was like a trailer for like an upcoming show. I didn't know it was like currently airing. until I was talking to Azared, and I was like, hey, what summer show should I put in this stream I'm gonna do? And he's like, oh, you definitely gotta put in Ruri Rocks there. And I'm like, that's a show that's airing now? But yes, I'm sure you've seen the clips of this show online. And I'm sure you're wondering what it's about, and that's exactly what I went. It is a comfy, cute girls do cute things show about rocks. Is cute girls do cute things a term that modern anime fans even know about? Because I feel like that genre has a little fizzled out. It was popular in like the 2010s of the cute girls do cute things, and also, why is my sword here? That's not my sword. Okay. How long has my sword been here and clipping into the background? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna sneeze. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay. Maybe my nose is just stuffy. Anyway, it is a cute girls do cute things show about rocks, which sounds dumb. Of like, oh yeah, cute girls do rocks. What are they gonna think of next? Cute girls do botany. But the show does do a very good job of making the subject matter like interesting. Like they actually talk about don't look at that. They actually talk about like the science behind rocks and like how these gems are created and how they move throughout the world. And like it does a really good job of making the subject matter sound interesting. Like they really talk about the geology and the millions of years, the journeys of the millions of years the journey the rocks had to go on to be where they are, and like how much of a miracle like it is of that these rocks even exist in the first place. Like they do a good job of like convincing you that like, hey, rocks are cool, these gems are actually kind of neat, and that they got to go on little adventures, and they get pretty scenery. It's like really sick. And the anime kind of does go hard. Like, cause you have scenes like this of the main girl trying to convince her mom to let her buy a bracelet that she saw at the store until and there's a lot of like fun little animation bits here. And yeah, there's also just a lot of like pretty scenery. Like the anime side of it does also go in very hard. Like the visuals and like the passion that the characters have for gems, and like look at this, like they actually like they care about rocks, and you can really feel the passion that the creators have for rocks in the show. So I think it works really well, and it has pretty backgrounds, and they have like really cool things where they're like just walking along and then they stumble across a really pretty area, and she's like, oh my gosh, I love rocks, they're so cool. Like, I get it. Yeah, for the animations and the backgrounds, they go really hard to sell the beauty of the environments and like the magical journey that they go on. And it's like really good, you know? I would kind of compare it to Yuru Camp, where the like vibes of the show do a lot to make the idea of camping very cozy and fun. This kind of is the same way, where they kind of use the vibes of the show to make going out and finding gems and materials like a fun magical adventure through pretty areas. So yeah, the animation background so go really hard to sell the beauty of the environment. So traveling through the forest to find rocks really feels like a magical journey. I think I said that already. If I repeat myself, it's because I'm delusional. But yeah, the show is good. It makes it feel like a magical journey, and yes, the girls are cute too. So if cute girls do rocks sounds vaguely interesting to you, we also have car driving in anime, not something we see very often. But if this sounds interesting to you, and then we have a callback of that last scene of the girl begging her mom to buy her rock mining equipment. It has a pretty cool opening and ending. Like, it's good. I like it a lot. So yeah, at risk of crowding this tier, I will put this, that's not where, I broke it! Okay, I will put this in the should watch tier. I'll order these at the end. I'm not sure what order it should go in, but somewhere in the should watch tier, because it is, I think it'll be a very fun show. It's not like in the maybe watch tier, I'm like, I could see the show going either way, but the should watch is just like, I see it being pretty good and consistent throughout its entirety. So if you like the idea, the concept behind it, then you will probably like the rest of the show. But yeah, if you're a fan of cute girls do cute things, then this is a very easy recommendation. Anyway, on to the next show. We got the penultimate show. Oh my gosh. I know, there will definitely be shows I missed. Again, tell me, I'm always digging, sniffing for more anime recommendations. Not the right terminology, but you know what I mean. Anyway, next is Dana. Hit the wrong thing. Dana Jigoku Sensei Nube. It is a remake of an 90s anime slash manga. Because it's like the Jigoku Sensei Nube. Jigoku Sensei Nube. Sensei usually after the name, and Nube is like the name of the main teacher guy. Whatever. It is a remake of a 90s anime manga, so I'm kind of breaking my rule a little bit of no sequels, but this is still not technically a sequel, so I'll count it. I'll count it. It is a paranormal investigation anime with maybe some action. I'm actually not too sure what to make of this, actually. It starts off as a school kids investigate paranormal stuff and exercise yokai kind of show. Which, like, that part's not bad. It has a very classic feel to it. I just wasn't, like, super impressed. Is that Yomu Konpaku? No, seriously, is this... I know, we're gonna do this again. Toho Yomu. Okay, I actually did remember her name. That's crazy. Thank you, Toho Wiki, for not using Wikia. I hate Wikia with all of my passion. No, it's not Wikia, it's Fanon. I hate Fanon with all of my passion. You see it? You see how this girl looks like Yomu Konpaku from Doho? Hold on. Wait. Hold. Hold. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, thank you for agreeing, Solaris. I don't know why. That also begs the question of what design predated what design, or if it was just a coincidence. Because Toho, I think Toho was like an 80s? What was the first Toho game? $1997, so probably this predated Toho, but it was probably just a coincidence. Anytime anyone's like, oh, this person ripped off this person, it's just probably was a coincidence. I always forget that Toho is like a 90s series. Because I always associate it with like early internet era, like 2008. Anyway. So yeah, the first episode is like they... Also, okay, this is no longer relevant. I know. I broke it? Okay. I'm just trying to find something. Hold on one second. In all the way back in the Fragrant Flower anime, I just wanted to point out the fact that they have a boy and girl side of the school separation. Those are actually two different schools, but I just find it weird that we just talked about Kempha when and that has a girl side boy side separation, and this anime that we're talking about now also has the exact same thing. It's a little weird. And then we also have the perv best friend character that was in the 9 anime. I forget where it was. Yeah, this guy. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I wanted to say. I think I just realized I'm cutting off the bottom a little bit. Okay. Anyway, back to actually talking about this show. Whatever show I was talking about. I'm starting to pass out a little bit. Oh yeah, I just was reminded because I have a very distinct haunted ass looking school where the school building is. There's no creepy ass old building in front of the regular school building, and I don't know why they have it like that, other than they know that their shit is haunted. Also, I like the trope. I like the character design of the guy with the mustache, and whenever he talks, his mustache just moves instead of his mouth moving. We need to have more of that in anime. That's how you know it's a 90s anime. But it's a 90s anime, but they still use smartphones, so we're going by like Cardcaptor Sakura rules. Where like, even though they modernized it. They also have another, I think, benefit of it being a 90s show is that they have very unique character designs. Like, this is a game of, like, spot the main character, and, like, yeah, you can tell that it's these two in the back. But, like, do they not have, like, a school uniform? Because I've hardly ever seen that in Japan. When I was teaching English in Japan, they had, like, for the 2 years that I was there, they had like one day a year where it was like, oh, you don't have to wear the uniform for today. They had a no uniform day. That's the only time I've ever seen, both in real life and in anime, I've ever seen people in a school building without school uniforms. So I don't know. It's these weird things that you notice when you watch too much anime. Is that Yomu Konpaku? But yeah, okay, so the show starts off as a school kids investigate paranormal stuff and exercise yokai kind of show. We gotta go kill the yoki on the Yoki Mountain. You got the yokai kind of show, and that part isn't bad. It has a very classic feel to it where they were like, ooh, scary things are happening and we have to do character development in order to figure out where the yokai is and stuff like that. But then and that part's fun, don't get me wrong. It has a very fun classic kind of feel to it because that kind of style of show has kind of died out since. It's just that I wasn't very impressed by that part of the show. But then in the last 2 minutes, they have this guy, the yokai who's possessing him, turns him into like a monster, and we get this like and this guy, like, he takes off his glove and he gets a fucking crazy ass demon arm, and they have this crazy ass fight with a giant ass worm, and it's the sickest shit you've ever seen in your entire life. And then at the very end of episode 1, this other guy shows up. He also has superpowers and is trying to kill this kid for no reason. And it's like, what the hell is going on here? So, like, what the fudge, dude? That part was cool as heck. So, honestly, overall thoughts on this show? I have no idea what to think of this show, because it really depends of what the ratio of kind of okay, you know, school kids investigating paranormal stuff with Yomu Konpaku. I only recognized her because Yomu's like my favorite Toho character. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so how good the rest of the show really depends on the ratio of bland investigation to cool action there is going to be. Because the first episode was like 90% okay investigation to 10% like, holy fudge, this is awesome. Dude fighting a giant worm guy. Like, that's crazy. So, it could go either way, so I'm sure you know what tier it's going into. It is going into the maybe watch tier. Because if I could definitely see it being like, oh yeah, that was just like a weird one-off. It is mostly yokai investigation show, or it could be like, oh yeah, the first episode was just a juke. It's actually a crazy action story, or it'll probably be a mix of both. So I'm interested in the show, but I probably won't end up watching it unless somebody gives me a glowing recommendation of it. But I might end up watching it anyway, just because I might be just curious of like what indeed is the ratio of cool action versus bland slice of life stuff. But yeah, it goes in the maybe watch tier. I could see it going either way. And then we have one more anime to talk about, and I can't talk about it. Because the last show that I watched is Turkey. And there was not I'm very disappointed. And listen, I will do my best to not spoil this anime, but it doesn't have any turkeys in it. I'm sorry. It is named that because turkey is a bowling term, and this is it is a bowling anime, quote unquote. So Turkey is it's a show. It's a show where it doesn't have turkeys in it. That's for sure. And it might be about bowling. From only watching the first episode, and without spoiling the twist, I think it is a cute girls do cute things bowling show with a twist. If you don't know what the twist is, don't look it up, just watch the show. Just watch the show, watch the first episode, and you'll figure it out. It'll be more fun that way. So I can't say so much more without giving away the twist, but I think it definitely has potential. Because as far as the cute girls do cute things aspect, I think, yeah, they're pretty cute and they have good dynamics going on. You know, like this blue hair girl wants to leave the bowling club because the other girls aren't taking it seriously. And the pink hair girl's like, I'll show you I'm taking it seriously. Stuff like that. And, oh, what's this? They're digging up. What's, I don't know anything about that. And yeah, she tries to convince the blue hair girl to stay, and she ends up doing a turkey to Snake Eyes, where I think a turkey is 3 strikes in a row, and then Snake Eyes is like, yeah, it's not a strike, and you have to, you pick up the spare or do it in 3 rolls. So basically, she's complaining that the blue hair girl is complaining that the pink hair girl keeps throwing the matches. And then, turkey. So yeah, I can't say much more about the show without giving away the twist. But, I will say, I think it has potential. It 100% has potential. Even outside the twist, I think it's interesting characters and interpersonal drama stand on its own. So I wrote this in a really weird way. Even outside the twist, I think it has interesting characters and interpersonal drama to stand on its own. So the twist is just a big cherry on top. I try not to read directly off my notes because I'm really bad at doing that, but sometimes I'm like, what the fudge did I just write here? And yeah, as long as I say most of what I have in my notes, then I'm happy with that. So yeah, I do think the characters and the interpersonal drama is enough to make it stand on its own, even if the twist doesn't end up impacting things somehow. Although I really don't see how it wouldn't. I have no idea. This might be one of those shows that we'll have to do a full discussion of, just so I can say what the twist is and talk about it, because, like, what the fudge? So, yeah, I can't say much more of the show other than if you don't know what the twist is, at least watch the first episode and you might, and just so you know what can go into it, see what the twist is blind. And if that interests you, if cute girls do cute things with a twist interests you, then yeah, maybe check out Turkey. So for now, I will put it in the... I originally had it in the should watch tier, but it might be in the maybe watch tier. Don't worry about there's fire in this thumbnail. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They just set up a campfire after they finish doing bowling. That's the twist. Dying, dude. Whoops. I messed it up. But yeah, don't look too close to that thumbnail. AniList has a rather, like, generic-looking thumbnail, but don't look too close at that thumbnail of that little box art. So yeah, I originally had this put in should watch, but again, nah, I'll keep it in should watch. I'll keep it in should watch. Because I think how good the show really is depends heavily on how well they use the twist. But I think it'll be good regardless. Even if the twist ends up being like nothing somehow. Even if it's like, well, that was weird. Anyway, back to bowling. Back to bowling. But I still think the show will be good regardless if you're a fan of cute girls do bowling drama. So yeah, that is Turkey. And now we are doing... So yeah, too long didn't read. You should go watch the first episode. Don't look up anything about the show. Just watch the first episode. We are at the ending. I thought I would die before I got to the here. Because I'm like, listen, I did not rush through any of that. I 100% said everything I wanted to say about these shows. Because who needs life when you have talking about anime to the internet? That's more important. Ranting about anime is more important than living. Don't worry about it. Anyway, please do not take my advice. Please take care of yourself. I will take some medicine and go to sleep and rest for a long while after this. Anyway, ending. Where do I want to put everything? I'm definitely happy with the don't watch. The bland ass show being in the don't watch tier. I think I'm happy with the tiers. I might put this in maybe watch, but I feel like even without the twist, I still would put it in should watch. I think Onmyo has the most potential in maybe watch, and I want to say this might have the least potential, the Jigoku Sensei, because I feel like it might just lean into, that might just be like a thing that happens at the very end of the episode. Like, it might be like a very formulaic, like, they do boring investigation, and then at the very end of the episode, there's some action. So I'm definitely comfortable putting it here, and then I guess I'll put 9 in the middle. And then for should watch, I feel like you could put these anywhere. I think I'll put the cute girls do cute things next to each other. I'll put Turkey above Ruri Rocks, because again, I think Turkey could have a higher skill ceiling. A higher ceiling of it could be good. Above this though, yeah, you know what? I'll put this show down because I was like, oh yeah, this show, Ruri Rocks is good, but it might be a bit bland. I feel like Fragrant Flower also, it will probably be good, but probably will be pretty bland. And I want to say, I'm thinking Silent Witch and the City, the animation might just get carried by how good the animation is. And I want to say Silent Witch I might be more interested in, because I like comedy shows. I definitely don't dislike comedy shows. But I feel like Silent Witch has just a little bit more going on. So I feel like I might enjoy that better. So yeah, Fragrant Flower, Ruri. I don't like Fragrant. I kind of want to put Fragrant Flower above Ruri Rocks. But I don't know. Ruri Rocks has the geology aspect to it, but I could definitely see Fragrant Flower getting higher because of it. Again, this is just first impressions. So I think I like the order of this tier. And then, do I really want to put Yuri over this deep, complex shonen anime? Yes, because the Yuri is very deep and complex, and I think has a bit more going on, where this thing is like, okay, this is just based off the first episode alone. We don't know exactly how interesting the pit is going to be, or how interesting it has a really good, solid premise, and I think it has a lot of potential. But I feel like with the Yuri show, I feel like we saw that potential a little bit more. So for the purposes of like how good I think each show will be based off the first episode, I feel like there's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless it goes above Gachiakuta. What is it called? Gachiakuta. Did I say Kusa at some point? So yeah, there's my tier list. From worst is Duke's Daughter, Jigoku Sensei, Duke's Daughter, Jigoku Sensei, 9, Onmyo, and then Fragrant Flower, Ruri Rocks, Turkey, City the Animation, I was gonna say Introverted Witch, Socially Awkward Witch, Silent Witch, Silent Witch, and then Gachiakuta, that show, and there's no way I'll be your lover unless, there's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless gets in the top. So yeah, I will put that in there as a for first impressions. I will finalize that list. Because I think that's good. I think that looks really good. I'm happy with how that list turned out. So yeah, again, these are just first impressions. So what I will not be too surprised if how good the shows actually are end up being different from where I have them on the list. But again, I've been watching anime for most of my life. I have a pretty good. I can get a pretty good read. I feel like I can get a pretty good read on a show just based off the first episode. So I feel pretty confident in these. It's just the maybe watch could go, those 3 shows that could go either way. These 3 shows that could go either way. So, but again, these are just the first impressions. So what I think will probably change when I see the full thing. And I'll also probably do full discussions for at least a few of these shows when they finish airing. I feel like the Yuri show and the Gachiakuta show, the pit show, I feel like I could definitely make full discussions of those. I could have a lot to say about those. And maybe the Turkey show too, I don't know. We'll see. If you want full after this finishes airing, if you want full discussions of any of these, let me know. Because I'm always, again, fiending for anime recommendations, especially for what people want me to actually talk about. But yeah, that will be speaking of which, that will be the end of this stream. And as I said previously, I'm not going to be able to stream a whole lot in the near future. Because again, I moved to a new place, and the new place doesn't have good internet. And I can only go to the old place so often. So while I currently look for a new place that has better internet, streams will be kind of infrequent. So it might be a while until the next anime discussion, because I'm like, okay, if I can only stream once a week, do I want like 50% of my streams to be anime based? But I will definitely, well, I know, I could, you know, maybe watching anime might be a good thing to do without internet, you know? For reasons. Because I'm legally buying the DVDs. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Anyway, yeah, anime might be a good thing to, I don't know, I'll think about it. But next anime, but yeah, I'm not going to announce the next anime discussion right now because I'm not sure when that is going to be yet. But the next one I'm thinking is either Lazarus or Summer Pockets, which is like which are 2 anime from the spring season. I think Summer Pockets is a 2-core show, but still. Lazarus because of Shinichiro Watanabe, who is a Westaboo and directed shows like Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy. So, and also like Carol and Tuesday. So I'm very interested in what he cooked up. And Summer Pockets because of Ki and Jun Maeda, who also worked on things like Clannad and Angel Beats. And like, yeah, I was gonna watch the Ki show one way or the other. So I've watched all the other Ki shows. Ki/Jun Maeda shows. But yeah, let me know if you have a preference between Lazarus or Summer Pockets, or if you have any other recommendations, or if you want me to finish any of these, or what anime of these you think I should finish, or if there was another anime that you thought, summer anime that you thought I should watch, that I thought I should give a chance to, because again, I only have so much time, you know, I can't watch everything. But so yeah, let me know. Give me more anime recommendations. I want anime recommendations. I love anime. I'm planning to watch every single anime at some point, hopefully before I die. So if you wanna change the order of that, if you want to give me like, hey, you should watch this first, I'm open. I'm basically open to watching any anime. So I'm free to. Recommendations if you have any recommendations of summer anime I didn't pick, or if I should finish any of these shows, or if you have a preference between Lazarus or Summer Pockets. I'll probably end up doing both. Or if there's any other anime you want me to check out, let me know. But yeah, that'll be it for me. Thank you all for watching. Shoutouts to lurkers, shoutouts to VOD watchers, shoutouts to Toast. And also shout out to the viewer Sun Toast. Also shout out to cooked bread. Gotta be think of how did that even happen? How did people bake wheat and was like, okay, this is this bread thing we got going on? This bread thing really good, but you know it'd be even better if we cut it up and cooked it again. And then they did it, and then it was good. Can you believe that? That's crazy. I'm gonna pass out. My throat is dying. Hopefully I'm not actually getting sick. But it's seeming to be the same. But yeah, that will be next stream will probably be in like a week or 2. But I'll probably be making shorts and stuff while I'm there. Because I don't need consistent internet to edit a short that I already have downloaded on my hard drive. I just need internet to upload it. Because the problem with the internet is that A, it's slow, and B, it cuts out all the time. So I could probably, via several attempts, upload some shorts. It's just like playing games and streaming is not really an option. But I'm working on moving to a new place, so hopefully it won't be an issue for too much longer. I'm gonna go pass out now. Thank you all for watching the stream. I do actually appreciate anyone who watches my streams. I know I'm a small creator, so any sort of people that watch it and like it makes me feel all gooey inside. That was not the right adjective, but you know what I mean. I do appreciate people actually watching and liking the things that I make. It gives me a warm fuzzy feeling on the inside. There, that was the better adjective. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Support art, support artists, because art and artists are cool. take care of yourself. Take care, be nice to yourself, be nice to others. I'm actually on the verge of like passing out. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And more streams soon. And have a good rest of your times. And I think that's it. Okay. And don't forget to stay fresh, cheese bags. I did it. Now I can sleep. Goodbye, I love you all.